I've been here for a little over 4 months. It's different. Things that y'all do but you don't. So I just feel really slow. The food ain't that bad. I'll tell you about the tax. Like, what the heck is even a council tax? Ugh. Like, it's just so many ugh. No, I won't, because you guys don't have one. And that, like, can give you a little rabies, just a little tinge of rabies, and that's not okay. That's not okay, and that's on .co.uk.
Got my passport. I've been searching, I've been working to get out this town. Country hopping, baby.
What's up, y'all boys? It's your girl Asia, like the continent, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I make weekly lifestyle and fashion videos covering my new life here in London, England. What we're here to talk about today, as the title stated, 10 things I wish I knew about the UK and London before I actually moved to the UK and London. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, you know, you hear about it, and some people kind of tell you that have lived here, that have been here, that have visited during more of the fall, winter months. The weather sucks. The weather sucks. There's no way to really prepare yourself for it. It just sucks. It can really cause you to be depressed, for the simple fact that, like, it gets dark super early. It gets dark, it's cold, sometimes it rains. Like Florida, it rains. 1 minute it'll be sunny, next minute it'll rain. Torrential downpour. It's not like that here, because it's not a torrential downpour. It is that annoying drizzle rain mixed with wind and the cold. It's just, it doesn't really stop, and when it does, it's just like ugh, like it's just so many ugh. Sad is real. Again, seasonal affected depression is real. Try my best to, you know, take my vitamins and my vitamin D and try to get as much sun as I can while it's out, and all of the things, and make sure I'm doing self-care practices and being out and not being cooped up in the house when I can get out and do things, because it can really affect you, and nothing can ever really prepare you for it. You just kind of gotta jump into it, and it definitely, when you jump into it, it still kind of like slaps you in the face. So number 1, the weather. Number 2 on my list, it's expensive. Like, and I did all of the things that you're supposed to do, and it still doesn't really prepare you for it. Granted, I have been here for a little over 4 months. Or actually, not even 4 months yet. A little over 3 months going into my 4th month. So I spent a full quarter here and a quarter and a half. And what I will say is, like, the first couple of months you are like spending more, because, you know, you got to do first last month rent. You have to, you know, the conversion rate when you don't have a bank account set up yet. You know, unexpected expenses or unreally planned expenses with moving and adjusting and figuring out how much food is, going to the right grocery stores. I mean, you see my video, my last video, like all of those things. So I know I'll hit a kind of standardization when it comes to like my budget and things like that now that I've been here for a little bit, but nothing can also really prepare you for the fact that it is a very expensive city, and it is a city. It's a very populous city. Tax, ugh, they don't tell you about the tax. Like, what the heck is even a council tax? I mean, I know what it is, but for those that don't know what a council tax is, I pulled out my phone for this one so I can give you a proper definition. So, a council tax is a local taxation system used in England, Scotland, and Wales. It is a tax on domestic property, which was introduced in 1993 by the Local Government Finance Act of 1992. Replacing the short-lived community charge, which in turn replaced the domestic rates. So, long story short, what a council tax is a tax that all of anyone that resides in a property has to pay if you are of age to pay tax. So anyone over the age of 18, if you're not in school, and I think it does cap at a certain age, and depending on what part of the city you live in, what borough you live in, can definitely affect the cost that you pay on an annual basis for your council tax. And that is a topic for another video. It is a very long-winded thing. I'll talk about it another time, but that is number 2. It is expensive as to live here, so if you're planning to visit or move to this city, just be prepared to spend some money. Number 3 on my list, I did it the ASL way, haha. You know, for me, the food ain't that bad. Granted, I will preface that by saying I haven't technically tried many true English meals. So I haven't had a traditional English breakfast. I haven't had, you know, the roast, because it is winter time, so like the roast and the soups and the pies and the puddings, and I haven't had a traditional British meal yet. But my experience here hasn't been that bad. Like, I have had kind of sausage and mashed potatoes. That was actually really, really good. You guys do sausage you guys do sausage very well here in London in the UK, so I will give you guys that. Sausage and mash is bomb. Haven't had a proper shepherd's pie from here, haven't had a roast, haven't had beans for breakfast. There's so many things that I haven't tried that I'm still kind of hesitant to try, but the food that I have has been really good. Also with an asterisk, it has been from other cultures and places. So I've had Turkish, I had Lebanese, I've had Greek, I've had other parts of the Mediterranean, I've had African, I've had Jamaican, you know, the other places that was colonized, and you know, the seasonings were a reason why it was colonized and imported, you know, the basic things. But I had it in England, had it in London, and it was good. Number 4 is very much so a contactless, cashless city. Like, people use the tap option on their credit or debit card. Restaurants and places of patronage, they do not even, a lot of them don't even allow cash. They'll say it on either the menu or the front door when you walk in. So when I moved here with my X amount of money, like tangible M1 money, I was unpleasantly surprised at the fact that a lot of places wouldn't take my cash. They were just like, oops, sorry, can't help you. So before I could even get my bank account established so I could put money into my bank account to use it without the conversion, without all the bleh, I couldn't. Like, I was just stuck with X amount of cash until I found, you know, a way to convert it and kind of use it where I could. But that one threw me for a big loop, and I get it because of the fact, you know, with COVID, you know, the exchange back and forth of handling physical cash it's not good because that's a transfer of germs and all that. I get that, but like, you know. Number 5 on my list. Now this is the halfway mark, and I wanted to make sure I was very strategic on why I placed this one at number 5, because it's a little embarrassing for me. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm gonna share it with you guys because my embarrassment could help another person out, in terms of, like, again, if you guys are thinking of moving here, or even if you want to visit America, the US. We are a lot of things, and one of the things we are is different. We pride ourselves on the American way, on going against the grain, and, you know, being American. And one of those ways that doesn't transfer over well for other countries is the metric system. We just do it differently. Coming here, between the metric system, between the Celsius and Fahrenheit system, between the 24-hour clock system, I felt and still feel really dumb. Simplest thing, like if someone asks me for the time, or if I ask someone for the time, they will tell me if it's 5 o'clock, they will tell me it's 17 o'clock. Or if it's like 5:42, they'll be like 42 past 5, or like, and I'm like, Why can't you just say 5:42? Why does it have to be this whole thing? What is up with the 17 o'clock? Like, in my head, like, okay, 12 is obviously 12 either midnight or 12 noon. So 13, 14, 15, 16, carry the 1. So I just feel really slow at times when it comes to that. Same thing with the Celsius versus Fahrenheit. Back home we use degrees Fahrenheit. Everywhere else kind of uses degrees Celsius, and having to mentally do the conversion when someone says it's 12 degrees out, I'm like, that's freezing cold, and I'm like, oh wait, no, you meant Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Don't even get me started on liters and how you guys do kilometers, and it's just so much. My head. That's why it's number 5. Number 6. So we are well into the shopping season, you know, holiday season. Hey, people are shopping, people are buying gifts, people are doing things for each other, blah 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 blah. You guys don't really have a lot of the things in terms of shops. Like, I was very shocked, confused, bamboozled, upset that you guys don't have a Sephora. Why don't y'all boys have a Sephora? And what's the craziest part is I really thought y'all did when I moved here. When I get here, I'll just go to a Sephora when I get here. No, I won't, because you guys don't have one. Online shopping, no. Number 7 on my list. I had no idea that there were foxes in London or in the UK at the rate that they are. Now, for those of y'all back home at the crib or in the US or from the South, you know we have a possum, raccoon kind of problem back home. Like, those are our wild animals. I mean, obviously we got gators and shit back home too that we have to deal with, but that's typically what you'll see in our backyard, running around doing stuff. They have foxes, and I think that is so cute until you see one and they look real mangy. They look like this. Not a cute fox. They don't look like the cute fuzzy. They look a little mangy, and that like can give you a little rabies, just a little tinge of rabies, and that's not okay. That's not okay, and that's on .co.uk. It's not okay. Number 8 on my list, the language barrier. There is a language barrier here in London, here in the UK, and not to the point where it's like I don't speak the language. Like, I am fortunate enough that we both speak English, but our Englishes are very different in a lot of ways. How words are formed, syntax, context, different dialects, like it's just different. I've had plenty of experiences where I'm in a conversation or listening to a conversation and I'm just like, what? Can you slow down? Can you say that again? I'm just constantly in a state of like befuzzlement sometimes. Their slang is different. The word choice they use for certain things are differently. Like, I would refer to a crisp as like something that is crispy. A crisp here is a potato chip. Like, fries here are chips and fries back home are fries. It's just certain things that are just, you have to mentally wrap your head around. Like, it's a different word, a different meaning here than it is back home. So getting myself like culturally acclimated to things is still an adjustment for me, and that was something that you can't really be prepared for. You kind of just have to be in it and experience it to get it. Number 9. So I jokingly told my friends and family this, but all jokes kind of have some truth to them. Y'all ain't really got no culture, and please don't take offense. Please don't cancel me before I even get put on, please. But like, for a place that had did so much colonization, like, why y'all ain't got no holidays for real? Like, y'all really only go hard for Christmas, and like that's not even y'all holiday all the way for real. y'all just kind of recently really started celebrating Halloween. I mean, obviously you guys don't have a Thanksgiving, because why? That's an American thing. But there could be so many different things that y'all do but you don't. So you guys have bank holidays, which are cool, but ask someone what a bank holiday is, no one really knows. So like back home we have holidays for damn near almost everything. Like it's a holiday for it's a holiday for a lot of things, and a lot of different cultures and a lot of different experiences that, you know, you can get the day off for, school is out for, or just a celebration for some rhyme or reason. Here, not so much, or not at all. And finally, because I don't want to be canceled and I want to end things on a good note, I have number 10 on the things I wish I knew before I moved to London. The public transportation system. I'm going to end it on a good note because I love London's public transportation system. Like, I obviously don't have a car here. There's really no need for a car here, in my opinion. Like, I love the subway system. The mapping and understanding of it is amazing. The train bus system is so straightforward. They have between like the number, the letter systems, and everything like that. It's so easy to get around and understand. Shared mobility space is phenomenal here. There are city bikes and line bikes and all types of bikes all around the city if you so choose to use them, between Uber, Bolt, Ola, and a plethora of other ones. That's amazing. Getting in a black cab, they have to go through an extensive training to even become a licensed black cab driver. They know the ins and outs of London, ins and outs of the city, and they can get you anywhere you need to kind of go. And it is a wonderful kind of customer service led experience. So I encourage everyone to kind of do that at least once if you're in the city or moving to the city. But don't make a habit of it because it can be quite expensive. I wanted to end it on a good note. It's plenty more that I can talk about for London in terms of the things I wish I knew before, and I'll probably do a part 2 of this, but also probably talk about some things that I really like about the city as well. There are plenty of things about this place that I love, hence why I moved here, and none of the things that I mentioned that are technically negative would have deterred me from moving to the city. So it's all in good fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys took something away from it. Comment down below if you guys have experienced any of the things that I have talked about, or have similar sentiments to what is going on, or how I felt about the city, or how I feel about the city down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And until next time, y'all boys, peace.
Got my passport. I've been searching, I've been working to get out this town. Country hopping, baby.